Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at the McFarlane Gold Label Collection DC Multiverse Captain Atom figure. So, if we look at the box here, pretty standard DC Multiverse packaging. It says Captain Atom at the bottom. Then a good look at the figure inside. Comes with two blaster effects, the typical DC Multiverse stand at the bottom, and then the collector card in the back there. Doesn't look like it comes with any spare hands or anything like that. And then on the side, get Captain Atom, New 52. On the back, we get a really nice artwork of Captain Atom here. And then some, legal information or just, some info down at the bottom. And then Captain Atom on the side. All right, so let's go ahead and open up this figure and see if we like him or not. All right, we got Captain Atom out of the box here. And first impressions, this guy's looking pretty sick, I don't know much about Captain Atom. I don't have a strong affinity for the character. I don't know much of anything about him outside of the Superman, Batman, Public Enemies animated film. But with that said, I've been having a lot of fun posing this figure around. This is just Captain Atom's design is just a generally cool design. His power set is kind of just, again, a generally cool power set. So I have no problem putting this guy up on my shelf next to my Justice League members. This guy is, I mean, just look at this figure. Like, it's not perfect. We're going to get into, its flaws and everything, but let's just dive right in, because the more I'm looking at this figure, just in this pose, the more I'm falling in love with it. So let's get started. To start, we have the sculpt here. Now, this is a pretty standard McFarlane sculpt, nothing wild about it, but the cool thing about McFarlane is all his sculpts are pretty freaking dope. I really don't have much of any issues with his sculpts, and his more modern sculpts at least. When McFarlane, the DC Multiverse, label came in with McFarlane, when that first started, the articulation wasn't always the best, but I think they have come a long ways. I mean, this figure's just easy to get into cool poses. Like, look where he is like right now, and I can just easily, get him into just in a few simple moves. They're just another like cool action pose. Like, look at that. That's cool. Or like if I wanted to, get him into like a shooting off into space with his energy projector, or his photon, whatever. I don't know what he's got going on, but just easy to get him into cool poses. If he had a flight stand, we could do a lot more with him. But just a really cool figure. So, like I mentioned, the sculpt here is really, really good. And with that, the articulation is also really nice. He's able to get into really good dynamic poses, as you just saw. The butterfly joints here, for mine, are pretty loose. Like, I don't know if you can hear that, but mine are kind of loose. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm sure I can, tighten that up a little bit, with just some force. And also maybe I can, if I heat this up, I can probably get it to be a little bit tighter. I'm not sure. But overall, I'm still really digging the figure. The articulation here for this figure is pretty standard McFarlane articulation. You get your legs that go up that far, go back this far, double jointed knees. Then we got the ankle pivot. We got the ankle that go up, back, and then he has this awesome toe joint. And then on the bottom of his feet, he has peg holes. And then if we get him in the widest stance he can possibly go, you can see he's got, if I can get him to stand up, he'd probably go a little bit wider than that if I really tried, but looks pretty good. And then he's got a ball joint right here in his little diaper thing. And then he's got another ball joint in his abs, or his diaphragm. Makes for good articulation. Can bend back that far, can crunch forward this far. So yeah, and then obviously you can get into a good T-pose. Head is on a ball joint, if I'm not mistaken, so he doesn't get the best head up articulation, but you can kind of fake it with, the ab crunch. You can get him into flying poses. So, as you can see, with that ab crunch, you can, absolutely fake it. You can absolutely make it work. So yeah, the articulation on this guy is really good. Where I'm starting to have issues with this figure, however, is really with the paint. And just the plastic. I'm not sure what the actual issue is, but let me go ahead and zoom in. I'll give you guys a better look at what I mean. If you take a look at his abs here, you'll see what looks like just some marbling going on in the plastic. And, it happens up here too. This looks more like a design choice. I'm not sure. It looks more like a design choice to me. It looks like a different type of silver here than up on, on the upper part of the upper body. So that might be just a design choice with the paint, but down here it's definitely just some marbling going on. And you can definitely, you might not be able to tell on camera, but in person, you can tell the difference between the plastic that's used for this like diaper and for the actual figure. Because again, with the actual figure, you get this weird marbling going on. It's also on his back. So if I come over here and show you, he's got the marbling on the back as well. And that I'm not a big fan of. That really is bothering me. I think they could have done, it looks like there's paint on this, which is strange. It's like they just didn't paint it the whole way through. I can't really tell. I can't tell if the silver is painted, or sorry, if the plastic is just, painted, or if there's just a color injected into the plastic. I'm not sure what's going on. To me, it looks like a mix of both, kind of. It looks like there's some paint applications on this. Definitely like on the head sculpt, for example, because if we look at the head, definitely painted silver there and looking really nice, but just on this body, it seems like it's just silver plastic as opposed to silver paint in some areas, and it leaves that not that good look when it comes to the marbling. It's just not what I would like to see in this figure. As I mentioned before, as far as accessories are concerned, he only comes with his 2 blast effects here, and then he also comes with the standard McFarlane base, and finally he comes with this really cool trading card here, Captain Atom New 52, and if you turn it around, it has a nice little read up of the character, so please pause it now if you want to read that. All right, so let's do a little size comparison. So to start, let's take a look at our Captain Atom compared to a 6-inch Marvel Legends. This is the animated symbiote Spider-Man figure. So as you can see, Captain Atom is just a little bit taller than Spider-Man, as he should be. Captain Atom is in the 7-inch scale, whereas Spider-Man is in the 6-inch scale. And, it's weird that Captain Atom is probably a little too short, considering, again, that these are in different scales. But still looks pretty cool next to each other. So move Spider-Man out of the way, and we'll compare Captain Atom to a McFarlane figure. Here we have my custom McFarlane Superman figure here. This is using the Noel Superman body mold. So as you can see, they are just about the same height, which is really good. These characters are supposed to be, pretty similar in power level. So I like that they are, relatively the same size here, as you can see. So we'll get Superman out of the way. And then next, we'll compare him to a bit larger of a McFarlane figure, the Hush Batman. So as you can see, I got Batman, kind of crouched, and he's still a little bit taller than Captain Atom, as you can see here. So if I go ahead and stand up Batman and get him to stand straight, you'll be able to tell how much bigger he is than Captain Atom. If we take a look here, we got Batman standing up straight next to our Captain Atom. You can see there, Captain Atom is much smaller than Batman. This Batman's just way too big in my opinion, but I still like this Batman. So we'll get Batman and his Batarang out of the way. And finally, I couldn't resist. I had to go bust out one of these DC stands for this guy, and I think it looks really, really cool on it. Honestly, another complaint that I have is he probably should have come with a DC stand, these flight stands. For me, if it's a figure that can fly, and you guys are making these stands, you should include these stands with any figures that fly, especially a character like Captain Atom. So another complaint I have, is that it doesn't come with the flight stand. Luckily, I had one sitting around, so I'm glad I do, because he looks great on it, and he more than likely will be displayed on this display stand. So overall, I really love this figure. It has its issues. The marbling on it is really a bummer. And, it really could have done with an extra coat of silver paint on it, just to really unify the colors, because again, the top half of his body, just the silver paint looks different than the upper half. That's kind of a bummer, but overall, I really enjoy this figure. So if you guys can find him, I suggest, picking him up. I found this guy in the wild. I found him at a Walmart, at my local Walmart. So I got really lucky to find this guy. There was about 3 or 4 other ones when I was there. I don't know how much longer they'll stay there, because these guys usually go pretty quick. In my neck of the woods, I'm in Texas, so I'm not sure what it is about Texas, but I can't ever find figures out there in stores. So to find this guy, I had to pick him up. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this figure in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video and like. And I really enjoyed, doing this with you guys. So stay tuned for the next video. And please have a great rest of your day. Later, guys.